Let me have a quick conversation about QuickBooks for LLC. So in today's conversation, I'll be talking to you about the pros, the cons, and how to set up QuickBooks for LLC. So if you have an LLC right now, either a new LLC or an existing LLC, and you're trying to know how to set up QuickBooks for your company, you want to pay attention to this video. So here's an overview I want to give you first. So when you think about QuickBooks, I want you to think about one of the best accounting software to choose if you are looking for an easy way to manage payments, invoicing, and expense tracking for your LLC. This accounting software is accessible on any device. This is really good, but you need to set it up properly to enjoy its benefits. And so in today's conversation, the video will actually help you understand how to set up QuickBooks for an LLC. We're speaking about a limited liability company, so you can run your business accounting successfully, even without an accountant. You don't need to have an accountant if you set things up properly. So let's first go back to the origin, so to speak. Okay, so what is QuickBooks really? So QuickBooks is accounting software that provides accounting and other payment solutions for small businesses. So setting up QuickBooks for LLC provides your business with automated accounting processes, among other things. And the tool actually generates and sets up recurring invoices, organizes receipts, and allows customers to pay you online. Think about it. This is really good. This is a great trifecta here. You are able to set up recurring invoices, organize receipts, and allow customers to pay you online. And QuickBooks also reveals the status of your orders and inventory so you can attend to customers' needs. Fantastic. With this software, businesses can also track billable hours for employees, calculate their local, state, and federal taxes, and pay them for their work. So now using QuickBooks for LLC is a little tricky, but you have to set it up. You have to if you set things up properly, you can actually run things smoothly. QuickBooks works well for LLCs, whether you want to access your accounting details online or via desktop. However, as with QuickBooks alternatives, it has both benefits and drawbacks. So I'm going to quickly talk to you about the pros and cons of QuickBooks for LLCs. First of all, the pros. QuickBooks helps with expense tracking, invoicing, time tracking, and payroll. It allows easy integration with other software, which is really great. It offers phone support, and it is accessible via mobile app. Those are the pros. What about the cons here? Its payroll features cost extra. It lacks e-commerce features. QuickBooks Online's lowest tier offers you only community support and help articles. It's very easy to create duplicate transactions by error. Boss, welcome back to the show. Really appreciate having you here. Today we're going to have a very enriching conversation about QuickBooks for LLC. I really want to talk to you a little bit about this whole integration, this whole setup before I go into the pros and cons, and I go into the actual setup. So if you make a mistake while setting up your QuickBooks account, things can be a little problematic. But the thing is that QuickBooks will enable you to edit your account information and details. So all you need to do when you need to change something is go to your dashboard, and you have to click Settings and then select Account and Settings. There, you can select any item you want to update. Remember to save and select Done. You have to actually always make sure that your account and settings information is accurate, because this is going to actually let's say just kind of impact all future transactions, including invoices, bills, and all kinds of stuff. Okay, and the thing here you need to understand is that QuickBooks only helps businesses track their income, expenses, and tax information. So the tool is not designed to file your taxes for you. You will need to file your taxes yourself. Okay. And the thing is that if you want to learn QuickBooks, there are so many resources available for users on the website, and you will find video tutorials and test guides on how to set up and use QuickBooks on the training and resources pages. And you can reach QuickBooks support team or join the user community. The good thing is that since they have a huge user base, you are going to find somebody who can answer your question no matter what. So this is really fantastic. I want to show you real quick before we get into the actual nitty gritty here. I want to show you the pricing that you might actually, so you can have a clear idea. QuickBooks, there's no there's no sort of free plan on QuickBooks. They rarely do also free trial. So you have to go with, so you can see on the screen here that for your LLC, they will give you 50% off for 3 months. You know, this is just like a ploy to sort of lure you in, but there is no free lunch, if you will. So you can see here is the pricing right now as of the date of this show. So you have the simple start, the essentials, the plus, the advanced plans also. The advanced plan it's not for a new LLC. This is for an established LLC. By the way, boss, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We are having a conversation about how to set up QuickBooks for LLC. I've already talked to you about the pros and the cons. Now let's talk about the actual steps. How do you set up QuickBooks for your LLC? The first thing you need to do here is that you need to prepare. So step number one, you got to prepare your company information and documents. And so before setting up the software, you need to compile the basic information and documents you will need during the setup process. So while you can always return to complete the sign-up or edit your company information, having these details handy will save you a lot of going back and forth, which you want to have anyway. You do not want to have the back and forth, okay? And so we're gonna put on the screen here some of the information you will need to set up QuickBooks for your LLC. And this information is quite essential. So do not actually, so you want to write it down. You want to actually start compiling right now all kinds of paperwork so that you are ready on D days to really set up your accounting software. So first of all, the business tab. So here we have an LLC, which is a partnership. So if you go in QuickBooks, you're going to have proprietorship, partnership, corporation. But because we are dealing with setting up QuickBooks for LLC, we are going to choose partnership. You have to put in the business address. So you put the street address, the zip, the state, the city, all that kind of stuff. And now you have to put your email address. So email address here, you have to put your company email address. If you don't have a company email address, put your private email address. But it's always better to keep things professional within QuickBooks. And you have to put the website address, if you have a website, put it in there. If you have a digital company logo, put in there too. Why? Because you are trying to really keep things professional, right? So for instance, if you are sending invoices to clients, having a digital company logo is just fantastic. The same thing applies if you are trying to, let's say, print out reports. If you're trying to publish reports from QuickBooks, things like your balance sheets, your income statements, your cash flow statements, your statement of owner's equity, those accounting statements bearing your logo is just professional. It looks professional too. And you got to put your tax identification number, your federal employer identification number, your EIN, your accounting method, cash or accrual. You want to go with the accrual, bank statements, and credit card statements as well. Step number 2, you want to set up your company information. So step number 1, prepare your company information. Step number 2, you want to set up your company information. So you want to log into your QuickBooks account. Then what will happen here is that you want to click on the gear icon to get to your account settings. Select account and settings. What will happen here is that you will need to click on the company tab. Okay, you will see everything is just so user-friendly. It's just fantastic. Very easy too. You will be asked to enter the following information. Make sure to enter the correct information. Double check where necessary. So you have company and legal name. So here you want to enter your registered company name and the name you want to appear on invoices, sales forms, and other documents you intend to share with clients. Think about you have to have the company logo. So you want to import your company logo to reflect on documents and forms. Here you have your employer identification number and social security number, So it's either EIN or SSN. So this is kind of cool. Now we recommend that you apply for an EIN by filling out form SS4, even if you are a self-employed taxpayer. Otherwise, you will need to disclose your SSN to vendors and employees when it's time for them to file their taxes. And you don't want that, right? You need to divorce your personal life from your business life, which is why you want to have an EIN. You have to also include the business industry. So enter the type of industry in which your business operates. The company type, so enter your company type. For example, if it's sole proprietorship or LLC, in this case, it is LLC. Your contact information. So here you want to enter your company email for communication with a QuickBooks administrator, and the customer-facing email address as you want it to appear on forms and documents. Then you want to enter your company phone number, the one you want on invoices and sales forms. Also, you want to enter your website details, and then your company address. And then remember, there is a little difference between your company address and the legal address. So what will happen here is that if you enter the physical location of your business, this is where QuickBooks will use this location to calculate your taxes and subscriptions. Then you want to enter your legal address, which should match the address on file with the IRS. Your customer-facing address appears on forms and documents. No, so step number 2, you want to set up your company information. Step number 3, you want to define your fiscal year start date. So from the account and settings tab, click on Advanced, then Accounting. So January is the usual start of a fiscal year since it is the beginning of the income tax year. However, since your business tax schedule might differ, QuickBooks enables you to designate its start date on your account. You can also select the time of the year when you want QuickBooks to close your books for the year. So designating your fiscal year calendar organizes your tax process and actually records your data so that someone does not change your data by error. Very important. By the way, boss, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We are having a conversation about how to set up QuickBooks for LLC. Step number 4, you want to choose your accounting method. So to tell QuickBooks what your accounting preference is between cash and accrual, click on the same accounting menu. You can then select cash or accrual. Many businesses choose the cash basis accounting method since it immediately tracks income and expenses. So while it is possible to change from cash to accrual accounting or vice versa, it can be challenging. So ensure you know the difference between cash and accrual accounting methods before filling in this section. We think it's just a lot better to go with accrual because accrual is actually a method that is compliant with U.S. GAAP, United States generally accounting principles, okay, generally accepted accounting principles. So go with the accrual method to start with. Step number 5, you need to select your accounting currency. So basically, QuickBooks offers a multi-currency feature that allows you to run bank accounts and manage payments with vendors and customers that do not use your home currency. So let's say, for instance, you're in the States and you have clients in Europe, for instance, and you're trying to really make sure that those clients have all the information they need about your business. So when you actually bill them, you are sure to get paid in US dollars, of course, but you want to actually you want to feature their home currency, so to speak. Okay. So what will happen here is that basically you can activate the multi-currency feature to make and accept payments from various currencies on the account and settings tab. So that's if you want it. So, then you get paid in euro and then you do the conversions at the bank level. They actually convert the euros into dollars for you. That's totally fine. So to do that, you want to click Advanced and you need to select Currency. Next, you want to select your home currency before enabling the multi-currency feature. So the point I'm trying to make here is that QuickBooks the tool is actually so user-friendly that everything I'm telling you, you can basically see it step by step. It's just very easy. As soon as you actually log into the dashboard, you will see everything that you need, and you can actually, and everything happens. Most of the things I'm telling you happens in the accounts and settings tab. Okay. So this is where you have all the information that you need to actually tweak things in. Step number 6, you need to set your net payment terms. So when we talk about net payment terms, we're talking about a very important criterion that will affect your sales and revenue, sort of revenue flow, and also cash inflows, of course, because net payment terms means what? You are basically allowing your clients to actually pay within a certain period after you send them an invoice. If a client is on net 30, you put net 30. If a client is on net 15, put net 15. If a client is on net 45, you put net 45. Okay. So on the account and settings tab, you want to select sales and then sales form content. This setting will tell customers when you expect them to pay you. And so your selected duration will become your default net payment term within which your customers must pay you. You can always adjust payment terms on QuickBooks though. This is totally possible. However, If you choose to be paid right away, click due on receipt. Now, of course, you're going to have some customers that will have to pay you on receipt. In other words, they will be due on receipt. And some customers will have to be net 30 or net 15, whatever. Why? Because you do not want to approve all customers right off the bat as a net 30, because net 30 just means what? That you are giving business credit to the customers, and the customers must earn that business credit. In other words, the customer must be credit worthy, right? Otherwise, you'll be financing third parties, and the Lord knows what will happen to your own business. Okay, so be very careful here. Be very careful. And one thing I also need you to really pay attention to is that you need to also make sure that you regularly review customers that you have set up as net 30 or net 15 or net 45 or net 60. Step number 7, you want to set up sales tax. So if you sell products and your state requires that you collect sales taxes, you will need to set up your sales tax. So QuickBooks guides users through the sales tax setup process, which includes entering information about your products and where you sell them. It will also help you identify customers and items that are tax exempt. This is really good. And you can also set up QuickBooks automated sales tax feature, which calculates sales taxes on invoices and receipts and notifies you about taxes due. This is really a great feature, really. To set up sales tax on QuickBooks, select taxes on the menu list at the left side of your dashboard, then click on Set up Sales Tax. It will show you your business address to review. Later on, you can edit your settings to tell QuickBooks about tax agencies that pertain to your business operations. Next, what you want to do is you want to choose the number of tax filing reminders you want by selecting filing frequency, then include your start date and save your entries. Always save your entries, no matter what. Save your entries. The next thing you want to do is step 8. You want to turn on inventory tracking. And it doesn't matter if you are in an inventory heavy industry or not. Okay, you still need to turn on inventory tracking. So QuickBooks helps businesses with inventory management. It really tracks what's in their inventory, alerts you when you're running low on items, and gives you reports on your sales and purchases. And what will happen here is that when we talk about inventory tracking, we're speaking about an item that actually pertains to 2 financial statements. Basically, you have a balance sheet because inventory is a short-term asset, and then you have also income statement because inventory, when you sell inventory, you have cost of goods sold, but you also have revenue. Okay, and so you can set up QuickBooks inventory features if you paid for QuickBooks Online Plus or Advanced. So you go to Account and Settings, then select the Sales tab. There you can enable QuickBooks inventory tracking feature, okay, and use the QuickBooks. So this is kind of cool. Step number 9, you need to use the QuickBooks test drive. Now, the test drive is so quintessential because you just done everything. But if you don't do a test drive, how would you know if there are problems or not? You need to do it before starting afresh, before starting, for real. So we actually recommend you use the QuickBooks test drive to see what QuickBooks for LLC looks like when it is up and running. You can start by clicking New on the left side of your dashboard, then select the Invoices tab, input data to see how QuickBooks Online invoicing really works. This is just fantastic. So what's the recap here? What I want to say is that when you think about QuickBooks for LLC, I want you to think about a tool that makes bookkeeping and accounting easy for all kinds of LLCs and all non-LLC businesses because of how well it organizes expenses and income. It allows you to focus more on getting your services or products to your customers. However, you need to set it up correctly to enjoy its solutions. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. Boss, I just want to recap in today's conversation. I explained to you how to set up QuickBooks for LLC. So I defined in the overview, I talked to you about QuickBooks as a tool, what it is, and then I give you the steps you need to follow if you are trying to set up QuickBooks for your LLC. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. God bless you. I will see you next time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.